Who can you trust when the ones who will stay blocked in your life like these?
I feel great, man. I feel very, very good. I feel exceptionally good. I feel blessed because we threw something out there in the air. It captured the imagination of the people. I have to look back on the fact that our first album, the album was really my baby. That was something that I had sat down and programmed and wrote most of the stuff that was on there. And when we were asked to record that first album, I got the big arrogant attitude of saying I'm not going downtown and let no white people record us, and I meant that. So white people came uptown. White people came up to IS 201, 127th Street, and we took over a classroom and we kicked a couple of poems, and they said, well, yeah, we want to, record this whenever you're ready. So we went down, we recorded it. We recorded it live. It was like 2 sets. I just wrote down 2 sets, because I was the one left in charge of the Last Poets when this album was done. David was gone, Kane was gone, Felipe was gone. I put in Umar Ben Hassan, and the brother on the album, his name was Alafia Poudine, but now his name is Jalal Mansur Nuruddin because he's a Sunni Muslim, and he did that since then. So those guys were cats that I had brought into the fold, and now I'm like an elder, even though I'm not as old as they are. I'm an elder because of my experience in the group. And Elijah, our same conga player, was there. So when we got this opportunity to do the recording, I couldn't think of anything, any pretentious way to do this. It's like, we're going to the studio, let's just do what we do. And first of all, I remember we weren't getting along with each other. We didn't get along with each other often, but that day we were having some issues. But they put the mics up, we recorded the first set, boom, took a break, recorded the second set, and then left. All 3 of us went our separate ways. The album came out a year later. I remember the one thing that I did that I'm very grateful for, speaking of things in the past and how you feel about them now, is I told Bob Lifton, who was the person, it was Bob Lifton, I think, or maybe it was Alan, maybe I told Alan Douglas, because he was the producer of it. I said, put the words on the inside cover, because we're talking so fast. A lot of people are not gonna be able to understand what we're saying. That's become a hallmark for everything, and we were the first ones to do that. So you see that first album and all the words on the inside cover. And I found out since then that has helped people to read. I had a sister call us up on a radio station in DC. She said that when her sons were acting out, she'd put them in a room and leave the Last Poets album on and make them listen to that and read the words. She says after a while they could read from reading the words while listening to the album. And it blew my mind. You don't think of how important or what's significant something that you do that small could take. The fact that we got all these people who are into poetry, with the fact that when I go places that there are sisters and brothers who were not born coming up to me with the albums that they took from their parents' collection just to like sign it so they can go home and just see, I met somebody that you like, and that connection is exciting. The fact that I do this open house here in my house every Sunday and have people come over and for poetic advice or just for an ear, that's exciting, that's good. And some of these folks have branched out into the world fantastically well. That's exciting. I mean, there's not one single thing, even the moments of poverty that I experienced, there's not one single thing that I would change, because it's been a blessed life. It's a dream situation in a sense, because it's a road that I created. You couldn't go to college and see this on the syllabus or see this on the program chart. They say, oh, the Last Poet, oh, that's how I want to be. I think I'm gonna take that course. Not a college course. And it's not even a street course. It's a life course, and you got to go through changes, and you've got to go through a whole bunch of stuff in order to be seen as a poet in your community, but good enough to find a way to make a living so that you're just not a bum on the street, because I'm sure there are a lot of poets on the street. So I think the fact that I've been able to manage my life and I've been true to the gifts that I was given early on. I mean, hey, if the big hand said, let's go right now, it's time, I can go. I'm good to go. I mean, I want to do more, and I've got more in plan, but I know what I've done is solid, and I feel real good about that, and that's a wonderful thing. I would love to see in my lifetime Last Poet houses all over the country. Revolutionary poetic fallout shelters, places where brothers and sisters in every little city can go and get information about Black literature, see film, be poets, do their poetry. Last Poet houses, and understand the significance of this of poetry and how it has changed nations for years. Poets have always been the pulse of the people.
Who can you trust when the ones who